has just been released the new Amp Cloner by Headrush ReValver, the new application, standalone application to make captures of your amplifier, pedals and also plugins. Today I'm gonna show you the new standalone application ReValver Amp Cloner. I'm going step by step to show you how to clone your amplifier and to create your presets, and of course I'll show you the new feature which is very unique for this Headrush ReValver plugin, which is called Superclone. Basically combines different amp clones. That's very cool. Intro and then we talk about that. Hi guys, I'm Steex, audio video production. Welcome to my channel, welcome to my studio, the place where I try out guitar gear related, bass gear related and also studio gear, as you can see here. So today I'm gonna show you the new application by Headrush ReValver. As you can see, we have this application which is a standalone application. It's called Amp Cloner, and as you can see you can do a bunch of things. Let me say that ReValver now is part of Headrush. You can also have the ReValver application, so the standalone ReValver application. This is another application, always from the ReValver stuff, but it's called instead Amp Cloner. So here is the standalone application to do only clone amps. And you can use, of course, all the amplifiers that you have cloned inside the ReValver and inside the Headrush hardware. That's very cool. Let me show you the application, the standalone application, and then I'll go step by step how to use it. As you can see here, you have the main menu. You have here the browser where you can see all your clones. So when you install it, you have already some clones. As you can see, you have a VH amplifier, a lot of clones, the Friedman. You have also some sort of plexi style, and also a bunch of pedals. So you have also the PV XXL and so on and so forth. So you already have a lot of real amp clones. Then as you can see here, I've done different captures. As you can see, my Super is my Supro amplifier, which is there. I don't know if you can see it. Then I do some 𝙬𝙬𝙚𝙨𝙚, and I'll show you in a moment. And then you can see here the presets. Actually, I don't have any presets right now, but you can create your preset with your clones. That's very cool. Then you have the player. Here is where you play basically your clones, and as you can see here, you can recall your different clones. When you click here, you can see you are going on the browser basically. Let me show you something that I've created. So the sound that you have listened at the beginning was this amplifier, the Energy, with the green channel, so in this position, and I basically created some sort of tight metal sound. And as you can listen, this is the sound. This sound has been made with my custom impulse responses. So I've used the Torpedo with inside custom impulse responses that I can manage here. I can show you, for example, another kind of preset. For example, this is the Super Red, which is the Super amplifier. You can see over there, I think. And in the red channel with volume 6. So it's basically like a very gentle plexi. Very dynamic. Or I can show you also something like the 𝙬𝙬𝙚𝙨𝙚, this one. This is very bright, or something like the Super Blue, very high amount of volume, so all the way cranked up amplifier. Of course, it's a plexi style amplifier with fuzzy tone. So now let me focus on the main page, which is the cloner. So here you can clone your gear. hardware or software? So let me show you step by step. Let's go to Let's Get Started. Here you can decide which kind of device you want to clone. Is a stack combo, so there is also the cabinet section. It's only an amplifier, it's a pedal, it's for guitar, it's for bass. This will change basically the signal that the amp cloner will send to your device. So let's say now I want to capture, for example, this amplifier. This is an energy amplifier, which has been sent to me to review it by Nils. So thank you so much, Nils. This is the nuclide, and it's connected with the torpedo. So it's basically a stack with impulse responses, so with a cabinet. So let's say I have a stack and it's for guitar, and then go to next. Okay, here you have the routing. So you have to decide which audio interface you're using, because you need an audio interface to manage all the signals, and you have to say all the input and output. So I'm using my Orion Studio Synergy Core, which is this one, and I'm using in particular this one because it's my main audio interface, but this audio interface has inside a reamp box, and you need, as you can see, a reamp box to get the correct signal to your amplifier, because you are sending something to your amplifier, and the signal from your audio interface, all the outputs are line level, but you need high impedance level, and so you need a reamp box. Since I have dedicated output that is called reamp, I have already the reamp box inside this device. So for me, the first one is my input of my instrument, which is this one, is going on the first input. The second input is the target mic. So I don't have a physical microphone, but my physical microphone is the output of my torpedo, so the impulse responses, which is this cable, so XLR in the second input. Then I have the output 3, which is the signal that will be sent to my amplifier, which is the output 3 in my opinion, because I've managed the output 3 to be my reamp, which is here. It's this dedicated reamp output. And I'm going directly here in the input of my amplifier. So amplifier is connected to my torpedo. The torpedo has impulse responses, so cabinet is going out and it's coming here on the second, so target mic input. That's it. And I'm monitoring with my main output. And this is the sound. I can also tweak, of course, the amplifier. So the best practice is to have the returning level around the -6 dB. So here, as you can see, is also green. So let me tweak a bit the output volume. It's too loud. Okay, for me it's okay. And also here the output volume, I usually leave the output volume to 0 dB because it's all managed by my Audio Studio Synergy Core interface. Let's go to next. And here basically you have to match your device control. So as you can see here, I have the bass, mid and treble around 70%, let's say. So like this. You don't have to be really precise. The presence is around 40%. Let's go to Start Clone. So right now the software is sending some audio samples to my amplifier, and you cannot listen to it, but I can show you with my microphone that is pretty noisy because I hear the torpedo basically that is lowering the volume of all the amplifier. This is the fan. And I can listen also the noise from the transformers. Okay, cloning was successful. So let's go now to next. Here you can see and listen the differences between the target amp and the clone amp. So this is my cloned amp. Target. you can listen that the amp clone sounds just a bit better than the target amp, but sounds different. So I can listen that there is much more power in the amp clone, and it's much more focused on the high frequencies, while the real amplifier has much more focus on the bass frequencies. So let's listen again the target amp. Amp clone. So less gain, less presets. And if you prefer, you can also add some chug. And if you want, you can also add some sag, but the sag is more related to the clean amplifiers because it adds some compression. So I leave it to 0. Now, for me, this is really cool sound. And let's go to next. You can decide the skin, and you can also populate the metadata. So clone name, for example, this is the 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙤 nuclide red med. Okay. Captured amp is the 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢 nuclide, and the capture cabinet is, for example, my custom impulse responses. I've used here, for example, the, let's say, custom med Steex, and this is the WGS speaker, and I've used the Reaper speaker with the SE Electronics R1 microphone in position number 2. You can write a lot of stuff here, very long description. Plus, I've used also WGS Retro 30 with the low-tone audio LS208 in the position number 1. No any pedal, and this is an high gain tone. Save. Now I create my personal clone, and I can also import this in the ReValver plugin, so in the ReValver 5, so you can create your presets with reverb, delay, and so on and so forth. But you can also import it in a real hardware device, Headrush device, all the devices that support, of course, the amp clones. That's very cool. Then you can go to the Superclone. This is an amazing feature, and in my opinion is the future of the amp modeling, because not only you can combine amp captures, but you can also morph with the gain structure. So basically you can combine different kind of amp clones with different gain staging in the same Superclone, and basically changing the gain, you can basically recall different amp clones, and between different amp clones you can basically create something that does not exist, morphing with the gain knob. That's very cool. So let me show you. Let's go inside this, let's get started. And as you can see here, you can add different amp clones. The idea here is to recall different kind of amp captures, amp clones, with the same settings, with different gain settings. But the very cool thing is that you can do that with different kind of amplifiers, so there is no any rules. So basically you can go from very pristine, clean Fender style clone up to very crunchy plexi sound, up to Soldano late sound with the changing of the gain structure. So that's very cool. So let me show you. There is only one rule that you have to follow. You have to populate this side in order from the lowered amount of gain up to the full amount of gain, basically. So let me show you. For example, I can populate with a clean sound that I did, for example, with the nuclide cyan clean. So let me add it. Then I can go, for example, with a Satan that I've made, for example, with the second channel here. This is a clean channel with sh1. This is very clean. And then I can go, for example, with my Supro. So this is my Supro with Super Blue volume 4. So I think it's a crunchy sound. Then I can go up to something really aggressive. So the Saturn or the Nuclide. The last that I did, the red med, add, and also the Satan, this setting, very, very cool. So I have these 4 different amp clones, and I've populated these from the very cleanest settings up to the very aggressive sound. So let's go to the next, and here you can see you can have 2 different settings. You can decide to have the same amount of volume between the different captors. So for example, if you have different captors with different amount of volume, if you go here and go to yes, basically all will be normalized to have the same amount of volume. Or you can go to no, and you will leave, as you can see, selecting no leaves the clones as the original captured volumes. So if you want to maintain the differences in the volume per each captors. Let's say I want the normalized volume, changing the gain knob. So let's go to next. I can decide, for example, the skin, it doesn't matter. And let's say this is my Superclone med. Very, very simple. Captured amplifier is Supro plus 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙢𝙢 plus 𝙤𝙤𝙢𝙤. Okay, and cabinet is my custom cabinet, but doesn't matter. Okay, save it. Now it's saving my Superclone, so it's making one single Superclone combining all these amp clones. So basically I'm creating an amp modeler with my own custom amp clones. So it's very, very cool. This is the first time you can do that. In my opinion, this is the future. So let's try out now searching, for example, my last Superclone. So here is med. So from the gain all the way down, I should have something like the clean settings of the energy. So my cyan. Pay attention that I've combined also the impulse response from each amp clones, because I basically captured the entire rig. So I'm morphing with the gain knob also from different rigs. That's very interesting. Okay. Let's add some gain. It's completely changing now, because now this capture has been made with a different impulse response. And it's morphing also in between. That's very, very cool. Let's try out with another kind of Superclone. Let's start with a crunchy sound. So let's start with my Supro kind of sound. So for example, Supro here with V10. That's this one. it. Then I can combine with the energy green metal. And then with the red one. So I have these three in order of the gain structure. Let's go to next. Yes, next. And this is Superclone Med 2. This is with the Supro plus energy nuclide. Okay, save it. Saving Superclone. Now let's listen how this sounds morphing with the gain. So let's recall it. It's here, Med 2. So from the gain on 0, I should have the Supro. I really pushed plexi. Then you have also the cloud here, so you can download amp clones from other users. So guys, I think that this amp cloner application, the standalone version of the ReValver Amp Clone, let's say, is very, very cool. It's not only an amp captures that nowadays all kind of devices or other brands do it, but this is unique. The Superclone is unique. You can combine different amp clones and you can really change and create something that does not exist. That's very, very cool. So guys, you have the link in the description if you want to try out the Amp Cloner by Headrush ReValver. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.